A Mongolian and a Norwegian decide to move down under and fight off in the Aussie scene. The question is, only one of them could make it happen, and this time around it was going to be for the Grayhound side. A fantastic start here on Inferno, Pimp and Blair, and one that I guess many might not have predicted. Is this just a case of Renegades falling asleep on the first map again?
I don't think they're falling asleep. I think they're highly motivated to get this win. Now, they fought their way through the playoff. They fought their way to the deciding game, whatever they're going to make it for the major or not. Obviously, loser have a second chance, so there's still something to fall back on. But there's no doubt they don't want to lose to Grayhound by any means. That said, though, I think Grayhound played one of the best games we see them play in a long, long time. They were very assertive, very aggressive in the way they approached it. Seemed to be in full control in pretty much everything they did. They seemed to have a pretty good understanding of what was going on within the Renegade side. Whereas if you look towards Renegades, nobody really stepped up to the level you normally expect them to. JKS had a few moments, but apart from that, it was a little bit lackluster for them. I think Grayhound were the by far better team here, and I think it looks super, super dangerous for Renegades because I don't think they're falling asleep. I just think they got outskilled and outmatched.
Wow, okay, so very different to what we saw from the Vici game where it didn't look like them in that sense, so thank you for that, Pimp. Now, Blair, you've got a clip from us actually looking at some of the mid-control that we saw out of Grayhound here that was so spectacular.
Yeah, one thing I'd really liked about the CD side, and we can just see here on this clip, is look at this, right? With the first kill goes the way, the score was 6-2. The first kill will go the way of Renegades. Great entry from Azza, perfect flashback. He finds Sterling. And what do Grayhound Gaming do at this point? They're 4v5 and they re-aggress Banana. The pop flash is going to come in for his teammate, and that is going to be boom. There we go. Azza gets taken out. Urkas gets the frag, and now this information gleaned. They're like, all right, there's no one aggressing Banana right now. They toss in Molotovs, they toss in the smoke, they regain Banana control real quickly. Meanwhile, what does this force Renegades to do? They make their way towards the A-bomb side. Now it's a 2v4 on the A-bomb side. Two players, there's Malta and Dexter, and they're playing towards apps. They're holding a little unorthodox angle, so to speak, both the players marking each other's backs. And then what they do here at this point is they're like, all right, let's re-aggress again. Minute on the clock, they go for information fact-finding mission. They find apps is clear. Now what this becomes a problem for Renegades right now because they have gone for the execute. They're not expecting this player here, and he finds a frag, Dexter. He gets a kill there. He goes for more. He gets taken down, but they're not expecting the second player in the apps, and he peeks out. He gets a frag, and that's the round pretty much done and dusted, right? The cool thing is this is something they did time and time again in the CD side, and obviously in a different style altogether, right? But that's the thing. They never ever gave up map control without going for a fight. They always re-aggress, have some great mid-round decision-making, and that, it's not like Renegades played bad, it's just that they got outplayed, so to speak, and that was a great round of CD side control from these guys.
That is textbook of how you want to do it, but what it requires to be able to do these sort of like semi-aggressive moves in the middle of the rounds is a clear understanding of what's going on the map. This comes from preparation, this comes from knowing what you're up against, and this comes from having the confidence to make a move like that. Yes. Whether to be a guy inside AFs, they would have died, both of them, round would have been over, right? So they have a pretty good idea that this may be a good push and this may be a good idea to do. And it's a great example that you put out here, you know, the fact that being so assertive, the fact that being so aggressive and aware of what's going on the map is definitely going to play a part into the next map as well. Because if they had a clear understanding of Inferno, I don't expect it to be any less moving into map 2.
And this is the thing, right? One player I wanted to look at as well in a little bit more detail was Sterling, the young 20-year-old, the AWP man for Grayhound. He has just looked good, and we keep mentioning him, right? He stepped up, he's here at a minor, this is a big event for him, and he just, okay, he doesn't even need to be top frag all the time, just the way he is playing is working out so well for them.
Definitely. I don't think he's necessarily the most flashy AVP I've seen, but he's very stable and very, like, how to say, like, controlled in the way he moves around the map. He is hitting some sick shots once in a while. Every peer does that for that matter, but he seems to be like a rock-solid player, so to speak.
Kind of like a device to a certain degree.
Sort of like a device. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but obviously I see what you're saying. Rock solid, you know, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, doesn't necessarily stick out all the time, but he gets it done, so to speak. And it's a great piece of a puzzle to have, especially in such a young age.
Yeah, and a really cool other player I want to point out for Grayhound is, of course, Urkas. Like, Renegades might be like, you know what, the Mongols beat us a long time ago in IEM Taipei, and well, there's another Mongolian, and he is really, really, you know, just going into them. 26 kills or something with 12. That's great performance from him, and he has been a star player. And this is the cool thing with Grayhound team. Dexter has been really, really quiet this entire tournament, but despite that, they're looking damn good. And if Dexter shows up, that's another added firepower. The highest rated player, generally speaking. Right? So we got Sterling, we got Urkas, we got Dexter. If Dexter does show up, it's going to be a nightmare and just going to be one win away from sticking those dicks on those guns.
We are moving into Mirage now, second map of this matchup, right? A map that we saw Renegades play yesterday against Vici Gaming, a map that they end up losing. So you would assume that Grayhound had done the preparation. They saw yesterday what is it Renegades is not good at controlling, what was it Vici Gaming did yesterday, and see if they can replicate replicate some of that. That said, though, Vici Gaming is a very tough team to replicate because it doesn't necessarily make sense what they did yesterday. So I expect this to be a close matchup. That said, though, this is their map pick, right? This is supposed to be a 2-0 now for Grayhound. I think they're in a good position to take this major spot and go into the major for the first time in their history.
Grayhound are large and in charge, guys, and they will be rocking it going into map 2. The question is, can they close it out right here, right now? We know what the Renegades can deliver, and it's time to find out how it's going to go down. Hugo and Harry take this one away.
Thank you so much, James. Yes, we are ecstatic. We're about to head into the second map. It's Mirage, the map pick of Grayhound. Of course, we just saw them take it to Renegades over on Inferno, their map pick. So Hugo, things are looking good for Grayhound to take a 2-0 here. But as you mentioned, last time we saw these two teams go head-to-head on this map, it was that overtime affair, and it was Renegades closing that one out.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was very, very close. But I think one of the big differences coming into today is, as said, Grayhound look like they've done their prep. They look like they've gone back, worked on what they need to. And obviously, when you lose a game, it's far easier to extrapolate problems and issues and key rounds that went wrong. So without a doubt, they're going to be prepared for this game. And I think there's a very good chance we could have a 2-0 for Grayhound. But Renegades, you cannot count them out. We've got to see what they bring to the table here on Mirage. Some already confidence shown from Jacob as he's pushed up the top of middle, and a lot of info gained as a result. It's a fast B play for Grayhound. Liaz in the corner. He's been spotted, and he finds two. Great flashbang support coming in from the market. That was in from Azza. There's now 3 players from Grayhound do double back. They've lost control towards B, so they attempt the underpass play instead, and that gets caught, at least spotted by Window. Jacob's there. So now these players have to get up into the A site, but with Azza fighting on short, that makes things even more difficult. 1:10 on the clock, and JKS still has a spawn covered. There's no smoke for Grayhound, but they do have 2 kills. Urkast just flipping this round on its head.
Grayhound now trapped over here towards the jungle and connector. They have to try and find something. And nice shot from Urkast to reclaim that kill that Liaz just picks up. Now, him and Sterling back to back, gonna go to duck down in through mid, dip out and try and hit this B-bomb site. JKS and Azza, the two and the only 2 original Renegades players left within this squad, have to now try and show that their years of experience and synergy working together is enough to prevail. Urkast already on 3 kills in this pistol round, looking to try and take that much more. He's posted up at the short position. Urkast hold the angle, and they peek into it. Sterling, missed shot, and JKS and Azza, they're closing the gap. They're getting closer. They make Sterling feel very uncomfortable indeed. Renegades will pick up the pistol here on Mirage.
Yeah, a couple of missed shots there for Grayhound, but you could see confident fights being taken either way, especially for Urkast after that 3-piece. Massive round from Liaz to actually get Renegades in that position, locking down the early B-site rush. And even though Grayhound have a nice call of going towards B later when they realize those 2 other players are up on that A site, they aren't going to be able to close it out. So Renegades starting things off, and that's exactly what we needed if we want to take this to the full 3-mapper. Much like Grayhound don't want, rather, especially with this being their map pick. Fast A play with just Glocks and P250s. We don't have smoke towards the spawn or the stairs, so Jacob going to have a great line of sight and a firing range on this A site. JKS finishing off with 3, and Renegades, they too do take that 2-0 start to this map. Grayhound, though, early buy coming through because of that bomb plant and the pistol round, so they're going to have everything they need and more. Even the AWP coming into the hands of Sterling, and that's armored up, so yeah, very, very good buy for Grayhound here. We don't have an AWP on Renegades, and if Sterling can try and find an opening pick, that could spiral out of control. There we go.
Sterling got a best Graz faction, the man who came in to replace Grat in Grayhound, opening up this round.
This is what Vici did a little bit up against Renegades. So Grayhound, I mean, they definitely watched the game. They've definitely seen the demo back, because even they are learning little tricks. That angle is very favorable for the T's. But this one is for Renegades. JKS pushed inside the palace while Grayhound set up for this A split. The wrap is coming in all the way from the backline from Jacob, but this connector play is about to come through. Azza, oh, the timing. He catches 2 players, maybe even 3, but he jumps. It doesn't matter, mid-air. Azza finds it. JKS emerging from the palace, and surprise, surprise, it is a clean round for Renegades so far. The flank is in there as well, and what a great round from Renegades. 3-0, despite the pick from Grayhound, despite all that map control. It's going to be Renegades coming out on top.
A good start here on the map pick of Grayhound. And a much needed good start from Renegades. Obviously, we saw them get off to a much slower one back on Inferno. And this is a must-win map for them if they want to try and take us through to map number 3. That, of course, would be cash if we get there, and it would be fitting this ended on the cash. Is the one map that I don't know if it's every Australian or if it is just Chad, can't say correctly.
I feel like if we get there, we'd have to call it Cache just to,
we do, yeah.
as homage.
I think, yeah, by law.
Yeah.
International law.
We signed a contract.
Renegades up 4-0. But a buy back in for Grayhound in this round. You're going to have the AWP on Sterling. We've already seen him. Best gratisfaction once. This round was quick and clean for Renegades. Build up some money on that CT side in the round prior. Build that buffer on up. Grayhound this time going to try and take control of mid. Gratisfaction bested by Dick Stacey. That's the AWP dropped over it short for Renegades. Man advantage taken for Grayhound. Now we saw them do this just a few rounds ago and get mid control from it. This time though they elect to give it up.
Yeah, that AWP going back with the bomb through T-spawn. Just got to be very aware about flank here. Renegades had that in that last time that we saw an A play for Grayhound. But they were mainly focused on mid, and this time it's only Malta trying to sell the fake on B. He can try and keep players here while JKS once again gets aggressive, but it is caught, at least seen by Dexter, the frag not being there. And now 4-on-4. These T players on ramps slowing things down, but they will be making it very obvious. Malta, instead of selling the fake, he's going to come in for the flank and try and get a kill. He needs to check short, and he does. Azza gets caught out of position, and now Grayhound, a kill on the back line. The bomb's going to start to rotate back as Malta has full control of this site. Jacob is looking to cut this one off from the underpass, so Grayhound need to be vigilant, need to be aware. Because Jacob, he could throw a spanner in the works, and he's got his toolkit at hand. Bomb dropped, 30 seconds. Grayhound need this kill. Malta's coming in from the apartments to try and assist, but Jacob's doing so much work. All 3 kills of the Molotov included post-death. Malta's got to run back for the bomb, but I don't think he even has time, because by the time he gets there, so does Liaz, coming in from the lower stairs. The flash is there to try and keep him back, but 15 seconds, Malta, I think he's realized this might just be done. Even if he gets this kill, it will delay him so much, and JKS has been given ample time to get into this bomb site. Ready and waiting. This one is not going to be winnable. Malta needs the kill, and JKS will not show his face.
By the skin of their teeth. Grayhound losing another round. And it's JKS continuing this good form, but now we do have players stepping up alongside him. Most notably is going to be Jacob. JKS, one of the highest rated players of the event thus far. The only player from Renegades to be in that top 10 spot at the Asia Minor. Another interesting talking point is the man who comes in just behind JKS as the highest rated player is Urcast over on the side of Grayhound.
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
No, not at all, right? I mean, JKS has looked phenomenal throughout all of these games for Renegades. You think about just the other day, the one map that they lost to Vici, if you recall, I think was JKS's worst performance of the minor thus far. That was the only map they give away. So certainly not having that same issue this time around. He's sat 8-1. Urcast, top of the board for his team as well, but we need to see a little bit more, especially when you consider that in the last few rounds, Grayhound have been finding the openers. They have been taking those man advantages.
Pistols for Grayhound. There's one rifle on Malta saved from the previous. He's going to be looking for a pick-up on the catwalk right now, but that bomb is still left back top mid. Even the boost again. They're going to keep using this, but you can see Renegades fearful of it. Don't want to go anywhere near that connector position for now. Malta does catch that first, though, so Jaken's been picked off over in the window. Now Grayhound, if they can get a boost in, not only will they get a weapon, but they'll get behind enemy lines. Could be a huge way to start off a round that, really, you do have no business winning if you are Grayhound. Well, Liaz is watching his backline for this potential boost, so he's very, very attentive here, but the only issue with that is Grayhound have no one here. Not that Liaz can know that. So Grayhound creeping up through the catwalk. It's going to remain on Azza to really hold this one down. Gratisfaction, he will just miss the timing on that connector peak. Grayhound really taking their sweet old time. Now here's the rotate back. Liaz in with the flashbang to the apartments. As it jumps, he sees nothing, but he does know they're up one short. And there's another kill from him. Malta getting dropped. The 1AK removed as these T's hit the bomb site. And Azza, he's going to get overwhelmed.
He's gone, and actually so is Gratisfaction and Liaz. Dexter on this flank comes up huge. JKS left in a 1v4. But if any man could get you believing, it is going to be JKS. Urcast holding close, JKS in with the first, waiting to see if Dexter goes on this wrap, and Dexter is going to. JKS a second, but he decides he's done. That's it, he's had enough, he has his fun, now he backs away. Knows that if he holds on to this AK, they're going to have a buy, no issue. They can afford to get the AWP back out on Gratisfaction. They're going to try and keep the economic damage up. Always a problem is JKS. Even when he's not winning rounds, he's wrecking the money for Grayhound. 3 kills for him there. And he has just looked so good.
Yeah, just really, really nice work. Azza's jumped twice during a gunfight now. Once with the York, there wasn't a problem, and neither was there, but needs to be very careful that his finger doesn't touch that scroll wheel again. I know you're giving me that look, Harry. Spacebar's trash. No one uses it. 5-1 here. Grayhound. They do win that pistol round, so now they're going to have a lot to play with, including the AWP, despite not getting away with more than one weapon in the previous. It's far better than they could have expected, considering they did save money, assuming they would lose that round. And oh, what a shot. Gratisfaction, he takes down the point man of the previous. Malta, who did find the entry, has been picked off, and Gratisfaction almost getting killed by the nade. He'll just avoid that. And so not traded here for Grayhound. Very unfortunate start to what would be a reset round for these Ts. Molotov going to force Urcast out into the middle. But no one here to stop him for now.
Jacob. Whoop, there you go. It is good to see Cast down in mid, and what a scalp to find. We highlighted him as the man to keep an eye on Grayhound. Sterling missed shot in through connector. And this is already so much more dominant from Renegades in comparison to what we saw the last time these two teams faced on this map. Out from ramp, Dick Stacey, slowly but surely slogging along. It's going to be JKS to get rid of him. That bomb now dropped, and these rotations coming in. Sterling, the only man left standing. 1v4 required and 25 seconds left on the clock.
And he's been found. That AWP's going to be dropped here. Not saved for Renegades, because even considering it, but they have one for Gratisfaction, so they're just fine. And this is a fantastic start from Renegades on a map that, you know, was picked by the likes of Grayhound when they're already down 1-0 in the series. Renegades need to win this if they still want to win the series, win the best of 3 over on Cash, that third and final map. And if this keeps up, Harry, then very real possibility of that. For now, just that Deagle on Urcast, everyone else glocked up. Oh, sorry, it's Dick Stacey rather, but let's see what he can find. He has extra money, so why not? Just holding for the top mid push, but Renegades not against pistols. They won't get aggressive. They'll just chill out for the time being, hold this play for info. Gratisfaction jumping towards the underpass, so that's going to be heard by Urcast, relayed to Dick. And he can look to pound his way into middle, but oh, Gratisfaction, oh, he just shows right as Dick Stacey gets behind the boxes. In the meantime, Liaz will pick up the kill onto Malta in the apartments, and Jacob is going to take down Urcast and Connector. There's the Deke finding success. So the orb has been dropped. Great shot from Dick Stacey, and he might find another, but this is where it falls apart. The one gun has been removed, and they can't retrieve the AWP in the window with just one man. So Renegades looking up for a 7-1 lead here in map number 2.
Not much hope for Dexter to get anything done here. I mean...
You sure?
Yeah, I think I can safely say that, Hugo. One thing I was going to say is JKS, a man whose worst result at any minor in history is a 2nd place. And, you know, you could tell that he's not keen on the idea of that this time around. In this map, sitting top of the board, 14-1.
It's pretty unreal.
And then just behind Jacob there, 12-5. These were the 2 that we were highlighting back on Inferno. And a part of me even wonders, you know, we know over on that CT side Renegades, I like to play JKS and Jacob as that B bomb site tag team duo. Part of me wonders if maybe that could have been the downfall, right? You had the 2 top performers, both over towards B.
Well, Jacob struggled for so long in that first map.
And that, yeah, that's very true as well.
AWP back for Sterling, a fast pace into middle. He's alone here, very dangerous setup, but he does get a pick for it. No aggro cap play, so he's not going to get punished from that, but Jacob wins the fight in the connector smoke. A execute here for Grayhound, and JKS, he's got to go huge.
Indeed he does, from CT, JKS. What more can he do? That nade might deny the bomb plant. Lots of damage done onto Malta, but no, man advantage maintained for Grayhound, as they do have this 4-on-3 in the post plant. Urcast put in a very awkward spot, but they've got this long rotation from Dick Stacey. He's rotating all the way through mid. You gotta be wary of Dick Stacey in the back door. Urcast, first man found, that's Azza trying to push through the bench, but Urcast beats them to the punchline. Grayhound, a 2nd round maintained, and all 4 players surviving once that bomb went down.
It's very rare to see an AWP solo rush mid when your team's going for an A execute. So I feel like, you know, the CT's got very caught up in that and expected of more players to be coming through the connector after Jacob got this kill. In the meantime, the A push for Grayhound worked wonders while their attention was diverted. And great round from Urcast again. He only hits headshots, it seems. Now this is a slow recovery from Grayhound, but the start at least, a 2nd round taken on this T side. It is going to break the money somewhat of Renegades, who are calling in a tactical pause. So this is a bit of a way back into the game for Grayhound, and a very, very rough map for them so far. But remember, they did 16-5 Renegades back on Inferno, so, you know, it's fair.
Yeah, out for revenge here, though, are the Renegades.
And they might just find it, however, not really in this round. Pistols upon pistols for the CT side.
What can they get done with this partial investment into this round? Malta goes toe-to-toe with Jacob, is able to win that fight out. Now Grayhound, this is something that we noted. They were able to find the man advantages. That was never the problem. It was the mid-round where they try and get into the bomb sites, and then in the post plants that we saw it really go in favor of the Renegades. But this time, that kill not traded means that Grayhound do sit in this 5-on-4. They already had the firepower advantage, now they've got the man advantage, but Azza and JKS, the 2 old dogs of Renegades, they've got a lot of information here. JKS is hearing footsteps as well from Dexter. The issue is, Azza clearing out the apartments, and then JKS hearing Dexter down here at ramp. I think that's led Renegades to believe it's going to be the A play, and this bomb still waiting over towards T-Apps could very much go anywhere. Now that they spot Azza in through lower tunnels, they killed everyone, so yeah, they can't just go where they want. Renegades relying on Liaz to try and get something done here.
Yeah, against Urcast, good luck. One bullet not connecting. Reload has to come through in 20 seconds as that bomb goes down. It's a guaranteed round for Grayhound. 3 here. Slowly but surely getting their way back into this matchup, Harry. Or at least this map. They're already a map up, remember? But a flawless round is going to be good for the money in the long run. And that's what we're looking to now, the long run. With Renegades buying up, they've got the AWP as an option for Gratisfaction, and he'll go straight for it with armor. Seven to 3. Grayhound looking like they want to set up quickly towards that A site. Again, it's Sterling alone in middle, but he's not really committing, just selling the fake with some utility. The issue is Gratisfaction's fighting, missed shot. He's down to 40 as well, and in the meantime, Grayhound going to burst this A site.
Push coming in, cast. There's the opener, Jacob dropped. Man advantage gained for Grayhound, and smoke's now raining in. JKS from CT. Can he arrive? Can he show up here? The rest of Renegades, they're backing away. The save call looks to come in, but JKS has provided an equalizer. Issue is, the rest of the gang have already dedicated themselves so much to this save call, and they just decide to stick with it. Grayhound will be picking up a 4th round here as Renegades opt to save in the 4-on-4.
It's a good call, though. You're up 7-3. You don't necessarily need to go for this one. You know that Grayhound are susceptible to getting reset fairly soon. Well, not quite reset, with 3 rounds now in a row, but at least broken. And more so on the side of Renegades than anything, they have no money left in the bank, and if they gave this one away, that's... Sorry, if they went for it and then lost all their guns, you're giving Grayhound 5 rounds, really, on this T side. And considering a moment ago, Renegades was 7-1 up. That's certainly not what they want to do. So a rebuy can come in here from the Renegades. Full guns still. That AWP now has armor behind it, as Gratisfaction was tagged up very early on. And we've not really seen too much of this AWP battle between Sterling and Gratisfaction. There's not really ever been that that engagement yet.
Yeah, we saw it in the first buy round for Grayhound, where he bested him down through mid. But aside from that, you're dead on. We haven't seen the AWP battle between these two all too much. Definitely something that we'd like to see more, but Sterling, while he's been making an effort to take mid, we haven't really seen all too much of Gratisfaction in this portion of the map ever since his initial death there.
Yeah, I mean, last round was the attempt, right? We had that fight from Connector, but no one hitting their shot. It seems like Grayhound has spent the last few buy rounds just fast playing this A site once the attention of these CTs is diverted to middle. Now, they can't keep doing that because Renegades are going to catch on. So they may have to switch things up with a mid take, and that seems to be the play. Already smoke's being thrown and 2 players coming out the top. Window going to be covered. And underpass as well. I imagine that's for short that went wrong. Might not be a problem. The boost is up again, but there's a player on top of Ticket. Gratisfaction just falls back in Urcast. His head can't be spotted, luckily enough, because Az is up on short. And Sterling's watching the cross right back, so Az it. Oh, timing. Might not have hit that shot anyway, because it was a jump around the corner for Azza, so would have been very difficult. Sterling going to get tagged in the meantime by that utility. Grayhound at least been given mid-control here.
Now looking to try to assemble this boost just to check the angle, make sure that Renegades don't have a man posted up here. Stacy didn't see anyone, so the smoke rains in, and now maybe they could look to boost him up using that as the veil in which to do so, but they decide against it. Grayhound full mid control still, but what are they going to do with it? Because that timer up at the top of our screens, 30 seconds left on it, time ticking down, so they have to pick up the pace. Have to borrow from their namesake. The Greyhound's going to try and hit this B-bomb site. Liaz and Azza here. Rotation coming in from Jacob. Already preemptively Renegades rotating him round, and the rest of the gang now following in. Azza and Liaz, they're picking up absolutely everyone. They hold their own at B, and they've repelled this offensive from Greyhounds. Sterling and Dexter looking to try and save, and Dexter might even go down after the time. Not the end of the world, because they do still have money over on this T side, but certainly going to be a big blow dealt to this economy regardless.
And really nice round from Renegades, right? They give up that mid-control. They realize, okay, we're not going to win this fight. Grayhound are putting a lot of focus towards it, so just play the bomb sites. And we just have that timing peak from Liaz, right? Because without that, Grayhound sneak up to the B site, and Az is probably dead. But Liaz gets the info. The B split through the apartments is a bit too late as well. And it's easy for Renegades to clean up. So 8-4. Still, both teams very much still in this. The Renegades, a recovery from that previous map that was so dire indeed. Again, going back to one of these A burst plays, Grayhound have been doing this time after time, and so Renegades should be somewhat aware of it. JKS is underneath the balcony, but actually Grayhound falling out of the ramp with 2 players going back to middle. Gratisfaction isn't here as well, so Sterling's going to have free reign over this portion of the map, with the exception of Jacob, who is somewhat challenging from that window room. Although just making sure that the boost isn't employed from Grayhound, as mid again given up. He's trying to bait them into a full sense of security here. But they are biting. So they'll set up outside of B with 2 players on the defense, Liaz and Azar. "45 seconds on the clock as Grayhound just go for the full execute.
Liaz and Azza, they held their own here last time. This time they have to do it again, but Malta and Urcast, the 2 that have been so good at finding these openers. They're going to do it once more. Renegades rotating away. Just have to hold on and going to try and keep these weapons up. That's really the best case scenario for them. Grayhound will salvage a 5th. This went from being very one-sided. You know, you forget that it was a 7-1 scoreline in favor of Renegades at one point in time. Now going 8-5.
And all guns taken away as well, or at least 4 of them for Grayhound. So money being the most important factor here for them as we reach the end of the half. It will no longer be a problem. They can chase as much as they want. Players still looking positive, at least over on the Grayhound side. Couple of rounds behind, but definitely not too much of a worry. 8-5 is the score. Renegades, they've at least guaranteed they've won the half, but how close will Grayhound get on this T side? We know that when these guys already played before in that best of 3, it went to overtime, so we'd imagine pretty close halves would be the play here. Jacob moving towards the top of middle. We got that top mid smoke from Renegades, trying to cut off Grayhound of taking the control, because they've been doing it round after round, and I like the switch up from Renegades. Instead of just playing the bomb sites and watching for the window boost, they'd rather do a complete 180 and take control. Now they give it up very early on. Moving Azza back into the B bomb site, and that AWP still back towards Ticket. It's not really coming to too much of pressure really for Gratisfaction. He's not had the chance to take fights. Now that smoke has just missed. And that is a big error for Grayhound, because getting out into middle, Jacob is going to be here. He can watch that short play with the bomb up in the apartments. Grayhound looking to set up for a B split. They will re-smoke the window, and that gives them the chance to play this catwalk and get into that B site. But Renegades are challenging on the balcony here.
Yeah, it's just jump spotting for this, and now he's going to spot it. The bait and switch between him and Azza, and that flash. It's Dick Stacy, but Urcast immediately in with the trade, and now Liaz, he's been dropped as well. Double kill, triple kill from Urcast, and this B-bomb site, it's open for business, and it belongs to Urcast. Gratisfaction in with the trade. 1v3 still needed. Dancing around, and in with another. Immediately mopped up. Sterling there to shut him down. 6-8. Grayhound very much back in this game. They're looking rejuvenated here, and Urcast in these last few, he's been a delight to watch.
And this is just turning out to be very, very similar to the last time these guys played. It was 8-7 halves when they both were on Mirage, albeit being T-side on the 8 rounds. So that's not possible here for Grayhound, but they're 1 away from getting the 7 at least to end the half. Renegades far from the best buy they've had. AWP is glass cannon. And look at the switch up of pace as well. Sterling is straight up the catwalk, immediately looking for this pick to Liaz, who won't be taking the fight. They're going to move up very close to the connector. He's going to try and flash them in, take down Liaz, who has moved. Back turn, Malta on the hunt, and Liaz doesn't know the angle as well, so he's down straight away. Dick Stacy killing the man within A. It's just the question mark of this ramp player. JKS might be able to drop an open bomb plant if they're not aware of it, but they're getting A site far too easily. Surely they should be aware of that. And JKS just giving away his position, won't get a kill for it. Malta's found his third of the round, and it's 4 kills for Malta. I love the pace from Grayhound. They don't hold up. They rush into the bomb site and they close out the half 7-8. A great recovery considering that was a 7-1 half for Renegades at one point, and they'll make it as close as can be. We're going to be coming back to you with the second half to see if Grayhound can go the full distance. Urkos certainly wants to after the break.
Grayhound recover the half nicely, and now we sit with an even split heading into the second. It's still all to play for. There is so much on the line here, Hugo. First place, they take home the lion's share of that $50,000 prize pool. They lock in a major spot, and they get the added bonus, the real prize of that title of the boys.
Well, that's what it's really for, Harry, more than anything. And Grayhound already starting off with the first kill of this round. Dexter with a great shot. That bomb has been found, and Renegades, they can pick it up and retreat, but as only just gets away. Now, Grayhound heavy rotated off the back of this, so they've left the B site open, and Renegades have run in, taking it for their own. So Jacob, he's going to be able to get deep control towards the market if he wants, and Dick Stacy will try and challenge. Unable to hit that shot, should probably wait for reinforcements, considering this 5-on-3 is going to be favorable for Grayhound, but retaking is never fun when you are on the clock. Asa can flash someone into the market as well after that bomb plant, try and get aggressive. Grayhound double flank through the apartments. Now, will it be heard? Because we have that short player of JKS, and it doesn't seem like Renegades are aware of this double flank. It's going to be a spot. Jacob, he needs to be flashed in here, but he'll go in dry, taking one. The second player is low, but he's focusing on the wrong man. Dick Stacy gets the kill. JKS trying to hold it down from short, and it's Asa alone in the car. Not long for this world. It's a drive-by by Grayhound, and the Apps flank works wonders. 8 rounds here as they equal up.
And now we do see it going out all tied. Pretty worrying signs here for Renegades. You consider the lead they had, how confident they were looking. But we have seen a slowdown almost across the board. It's been quite a while since we've seen Jacob even post a frag, for example.
And JK's had that blinding start to this map, if you remember, but it's been the same for him. He has slowed down, definitely, but at least he's given the AK this time. The one rifle for Renegades within a sea of pistols. And he needs to make sure these boys don't drown because Renegades are losing control. 8-8, and the fast play of Connector works out. The first pick going the way of the Renegades.
I've secured that at least, boosting up JKS to try and clear out short. They didn't spot Urkast getting into ladder room. And that could cause some problems here for Renegades. Big Stacy, ooh, good for the double down here in mid. Will get blocked by Liaz Jacob. There we go, Grayson the scoreboard, in with another. Man advantage gain for Renegades right now. Urkast and Malta left standing, but these two have been consistent top performers for Grayhound. They're the two you'd want in this situation. Azza gonna make noise over here at this A-bomb site, and that's got the attention not just of Malta, but of Urkast. He rotates in, and now the call comes through. There's no one else here, so Urkast is back to this B-bomb site. That bomb already going down, but he has picked up Jacob. That's the one rifle drop, and now it's Liaz. Only a Glock and a dream. It's not happening. Grayhound managing to convert this second. They will lock in a ninth, but a buy still open and Renegades in the next does not leave them high and dry.
Yeah, considering how little Renegades had to work within that 3-on-2, they really made the best of a bad situation. That flash from the spawn sets Azza into the A site, and although, you know, he finds nothing, no surprise, he had a Glock. Renegades do at least get a bomb plot out of that madness, and it's still going to be the buy regardless. So AKs across this T side as Greyhounds sit in the lead by 1. Full rifles here for Greyhound, and already that mid-smoke coming down in the window from Renegades, looking to maybe establish some faster control towards this portion of the map, and with no AWP to fight back, Greyhound have just got to relinquish control, give it away. And look at the pace, Renegades. They wait for no one. Already up towards his connected. Dexter getting tagged down through the smoke, and he's going to be met with a lot of angry Aussies on the other side. Oh, how is he alive? No, he's not. Jacob's going to be able to take him down. And as he retreats into the jungle, Renegades find a double opener.
Bomb now looking to go down inside of A, and a 3-man retake here for Greyhound feels very unlikely unless they're able to find something soon. Bomb plotted for CT, and Renegades already have full control of this portion of the map. Flashing Liaz in, he'll spot the Greyhound haven't occupied CT yet, and it is just this attempted save from Urkast, Dick Stacy and Sterling. Renegades tying things up, and as we discussed before heading into this map, last time we saw these two teams meet on it, it did head on through to overtime. This one feels like a contender to do the same, Hugo.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Renegades at least drawing things up here. I like the double boost as well. 2 men and 1 head. And flawless round is probably the most important factor there for Renegades. It means they're not going to be susceptible to getting hard reset here in the same way. Greyhound calling out their second tactical pause. I mean, this is as close as you get, right? 2 tactical pauses used, 9-9. The only difference being that Greyhound have a map advantage here in the series. They are sitting comfortably with Inferno in their pocket. They'd love to take this in a 2-0 rather than this to go the distance. End on Cache, as they call it.
I like that you're paying the homage to the Aussie side of things.
I do try.
Well, let's see how hard Greyhound try in this round. They haven't elected to buy up on a Dexter and Malta, so focusing on the buy in the next are Greyhound. Going to see what they can do with these rifles. JKS and Jacob holding towards the top of mid. Urcast gets curious as to what this might hold in store. He is able to find that first man, but Jacob instantly trades him. That's one of these rifles dropped now for Grayhound. You bet that losing Urcast in that fashion going to be felt hard here by this CT side.
Oh, Dexter going to his death there. Not sure why he didn't grab the gun from the body of Urcast. Not sure where that landed. Maybe a bit further than he could reach. Yeah, just a bit too far up that mountain of a hill. Jacob at the top of it looking down at Grayhound. And they are just running up one by one. Sterling going to trade two, though, and he finds the bomb as well. That's massive. He has utility. They're up close. Naz is going to try and keep this one alive for Renegades. A crucial kill to not only get control of the bomb, but take back the man advantage in this 2-on-1. Now, Dick Stacy has found another, but he doesn't know this last man's at top mid. Spots the head, and now it is a game of mind. A mind game, rather. As this B site is taken by Liaz, Dick Stacy is on the hunt.
Liaz going to start to plug in those numbers, and you're bang on. It's the painted mind games. Dick Stacy beats him to it, and he's already round the corner. Defuse comes through. Grayhound going to retake the lead. They move up 10-9. Still cash aplenty for Renegades. That much is not the issue.
I think Liaz went for that open bomb plant towards the door because he assumed his molly cut off the point of rotation from Dick Stacy, but he got through it. He got right past that. That's so unfortunate. And that's a round where Grayhound, I mean, think about what they brought into it. They still had two full USP players with nothing behind it in 3 AKs. No, 3 rifles, rather. Renegades still do have a buy. They've come very, very close to winning a lot of these rounds, but just can't quite take it over the line. Now it's full AKs, and this AWP out for Sterling. Nothing on Grat to fight back. Renegades back to a mid-take.
JKS working this Palace position. Oh, in with his second. This lone lurk of JKS and Liaz in this A-bomb site. Now the rotation in from mid. The pincer into A, and that will be Grayhound just backing off. Look at the save, so Renegade straight back, tying things up. Very back and forth in these last few rounds. Think back to how you've seen Renegades look on this map, and just yesterday when we saw them play versus Vici, obviously, JKS was having real trouble over towards that A side of the map, kept getting picked over in Palace, kept being that first man down. Definitely one of the weaker performances we saw from him, and that was the only map that Renegades dropped at the minor thus far.
Prior to this one. Well, not this one, but obviously Inferno going the way of Grayhound, and that was so dominant as well.
But the point is now, is JKS finding his footing, being allowed to work that Palace position. You see why they stick in there so frequently. It's something he's very comfortable with when he is hitting his shots.
And Jacob's sitting side by side with 19 kills as well after, you know, struggling series so far. Even that first half being very slow, but it seems like Renegades are warming up into the second map more so than that of Grayhound. It's so close, back and forth. But as we've already mentioned, Harry, these back and forth rounds, every time it has been, you know, happening, Renegades have been taking very, very clean ones, and then Grayhound clinch another one by the skin of their teeth. This is going to come back to hurt these CTs, and as you can see, their money is in tatters. The AWP save, that'll be it. They can't really buy anything around it in terms of rifles. And a chance for Renegades to really swing ahead with this game in this round. Now, think about how Grayhound did close out that game yesterday. It was Sterling on the AWP with 4 pistols, but I don't imagine the same thing will happen here. 4-man A setup. 1 player down on B, that's Dick Stacy. And Renegades, this has been a pinnacle of their T side every single round into middle with no fight back from Grayhound. Sterling's got to hold off the A side from the connector, and he's going to have a few targets to pluck.
Well, that was working out for him, and you need to have Malt to protect This AWP from the wrath of JKS once more up in the palace. JKS, one of the men who really is royalty of the Aussie CS scene. Looking to try and create space for this connector play. Now those flashes rain in. Cast falls and down on the ramp. They're able to find another. This A-bomb site swarming with Renegades at this point in time. Sterling backing off the angle, and they will go hunting for him. Liaz might just get to CT in time. Az is there to put a stop to Sterling. And now for Dexter, he's going to get boxed in, finished off, and Renegades retaking the lead 11-10 as they go blow for blow once more with Grayhound.
Yeah, very unfortunate timing there, right? That could have been a doable round with Grayhound, considering how many players they had on that A site if the AWP committed to triple, but Sterling rotated off just a few seconds before that execute came through the connector. And as a result, those USPs just land to the slaughter, getting mopped up. Renegades taking it nice and cleanly, not letting any guns get away as well. And this T-side money is really starting to build up into something that could be a problem for Grayhound, who are still on pistols, remember. They got reset after winning a round with, you know, only one player surviving on an eco. So Grayhound now, fast play towards the underpass, armor behind some of these guns at least to try and soak up a few of these bullets. Malta going to be taking the fight in Palace, and if he can get a gun here, that's how these rounds spiral out of control for Renegades. So Liaz has to be very, very careful, but in the meantime, Jacob's already found that one underpass player. Doesn't realize the full wrap is coming through though. However, it won't matter, because this A site, it's open for business.
Oh. Dick Stacey would love to escape this round. The AK now going to keep on fighting and trying to deny him saving it. But Dick Stacey now with a second. They might be tempted to go for this, Renegades. How about a hunt down Dick Stacey? And yeah, now for Grayhound, they will get shut down. Renegades in with their 12th. Liaz, 3 kills from him. 2 for Jacob. Jacob now sitting top of the board, swinging in front of JKS in these last few rounds.
And this is it. This is the most important round of the map so far for Grayhound, at least, because they have got to win it if they want to keep things going. Renegades not only built up a bank, but built up a streak of rounds here on the T side as we sit 2 ahead. They're on 3 in a row right now, and Grayhound finally have the money to play with. It's been a double eco, and I mean, even the buys this half have just been so off for Grayhound in the sense of never having the money because of those early resets. So, 3rd tactical timeout for Renegades. They know the importance of this round as well. Check in with Cassard and see what they can do. AWP is on Sterling though, and we still haven't really had too much of this AWP fight that we were hoping for, Harry. Gratisfaction is sat at the bottom with 6 kills right now.
Yeah, it certainly feels like Pressure's getting a Gratisfaction, maybe just a little bit here. There is a lot on the line, and with Grayhound sitting a map up, you can't say you blame him for feeling uncomfortable. But look at this from Jacob, a man who's very, very comfortable indeed. He's rushed through short. He's already down through that smoke. A blistering pace as he's opened up the B-bomb site. Dick Stacey falls, and Jacob in with the other. Dexter is on this wrap round. JKS showing up now. And this round has been snatched away from Grayhound almost immediately. Just Dexter and Sterling remaining. They're looking to try and hold on to these weapons, but Renegades will be hunting down the Hounds.
Such a good call from Renegades. They've been afforded this mid-control round after round, so they just take a pause, wait for things to slow down, and then just speed up in that cat play. Jacob, who's really coming to his own in his second half, sitting on 24 kills right now, make that 25. And he is just tearing through Grayhound right now. And when you have a player of this caliber to start stepping up, Grayhound are really going to realize how difficult this game can get in the second map. We may have cash on the horizon after all. 13-10, and another confident one from the Renegades with only 1 casualty. Grayhound with their last tactical pause here, and boy, do they need it.
Yeah, either side being very liberal with the old pausing. I think that just shows how close this game has been and the back and forth nature of it. Dexter was obviously able to hold the M4 and armor forward, but I'm curious as to what the call is here. Imagine that's partially what they're having a bit of time now to try and discuss over on this CT side, is how do they want to put money into this round?
Light buys at a max. You've got that full loss bonus next time, and you know Renegade's only going to get 14. That's definitely winnable for Grayhound in terms of numbers, but it means they can't overinvest here, and they won't. They want that AWP most importantly. So triple setup over on B. Actually scrapped very early on. Dick Stacy. He's up in the ladder room trying to shut down one of these faster cat plays that Renegades have employed in these previous few rounds, and this time it's a fast connector one. Renegades just constantly taking immediate mid control. No response yet from Grayhound. Urcast has to be careful from that boost, but it gets deassembled as they, or disassembled as they start to push into the connector. Malta ready for his 1v1 versus JKS, but he's got no armor behind it. Ooh.
Ooh. Well, that was one of the two players down in connector spotted. Gratisfaction graces our scoreboard. Malta able to get one where really shouldn't have been able to find anything. And now Dexter, they hear that Molotov tag him. They've heard him reposition. They're checking the site. He's gonna get the first. Not quite the second though, and JKS able to avenge his fallen teammate. 14 to 10 now. Renegades really finding their footing in this second half. They win last 5 rounds consecutively to get to this point now.
And the double AWP coming straight through here for Grayhound. The loss bonus finally working out for them. This second half has been an absolute stomp from Renegades. As soon as we hit the buy rounds, I mean, they won their immediate first buy round, and aside from losing the follow-up, they have not stopped since then. Sterling, he made the catch jump. Oh, he can't catch the kill though. Nerves getting to Grayhound potentially as Renegades fast play mid. Once again, it has been their bread and butter, but Dexter, he's looking to shut it down in connector. 2 kills from him. He's somehow still here, still alive and kicking. Jacob looking to trade, but it's actually the kill from Urcast up on the catwalk that finishes him off. Finally, a switch up from Grayhound where they actually deal with the mid control rather than give the room to Renegades to get to the site. Now it's Liaz alone.
And I mean, for Grayhound, they don't have to peek into this. They don't have to give him any means of getting back into this round, and they're not going to. Yeah, actually, just as I say it, Sterling does get a bit curious. Spots Liaz, but you imagine they don't give him any more opportunities to 1v1. You have this crossfire set up over towards connector between Dick Stacy and Urcast over on short. That Molotov actually going to force Urcast forward. Liaz still sneaking over here towards short. Spots the AWPer in CT. That's Malta to delete him. And Grayhound in with an 11. Still a little ways to go before they're able to draw things back up here, but it's the first step in the right direction for Grayhound.
Well, it's the first time they've actually been able to deal with this mid-control for Renegades, right? Because every single round has been the bane of Greyhound's existence, but they recognize it. They have that crossfire from connected to short rather than giving Renegades all the room in the world. They just got to keep that up if Renegades keep going for this fast mid play. But it's back to an A-site take. Dexter playing close alongside one of these AWPs, Malta. Very close position for the AWP, and they're going to set up on the corner. Liaz waiting for this, and there's still players setting up smoke so they can drop in and be essentially on the right side of Malta here. After Liaz shot missed, he will expect it, but Dex is going to hit the shot first, doubling, and the dink to Jacob as well. Now the split from Palace is well timed from JKS, and that has gotten rid of the AWP within the site, but a 3-on-3 with utility up for Grayhound. Definitely a doable retake here, especially with Jacob being this low, but do not count him out despite the 10 HP. Ooh. Or maybe you should.
Yeah, it might be about time. It might be about time to count Jacob out of this round as Urcast slam dunks him from it. JKS peeking into CT. Only on 6 HP, but Sterling Oh, Gratisfaction going toe-to-toe with Sterling now into the 1v1, and Urcast yet to cross, yet to get into this bomb site. Gratisfaction's going to win it. Map point to Renegades, 15-11 as Gratisfaction holds his own. Looking to try and take us through to map number 3. Looking to try and take us to cash, just one round away from tying things up in this series, splitting each other's map picks and going 1-for-1. Pressure's on now for Grayhound, as they have to try and win the next 4 consecutively, and they're not heading into this with the best of buys. You can see a couple of SMGs here and there, or just the one rather over on Malta, but aggression down ramp as they attempt to set him up early on here with it. Renegades back out in middle, Grayhound this time without the proper firepower to try and contest it.
JKS has even caught the ramp aggro as well. There's 2 players, but he's repositioned, and they weren't expecting to be so wide towards the spawn, so JKS doubles it, and Renegades find 2 opening kills gifted to them on a platter. We need a hero here for Grayhound, otherwise Cash is in the horizon. Urcast still in the window. Once that smoke fades as well, his teammate's going to come out and try and push through it with him. He does get to the underpass, but it's a double peek from Jacob up on the chair, getting the trade. And now 2 players up for Grayhound in a 2-on-4.
Urcast. Not able to find anything on that connector peak, and that bomb heading back towards A for Grayhound. That's devastating. Dick Stacy pushed up in the apartments. He's going to be so far away from A. Urcast really has to do the impossible here, as this play is about to come through. So much utility still up over on the Renegade squad. They're not even going to bother throwing smokes down. They just go running in dry. Urcast has managed the first. Will get a second, so actually that's a lot more than they bargained for, and the bombs drop towards connector. Dick Stacy, he can just look to keep an eye on it. He might better win this round on time alone, but they flashed him off the angle. JKS and Jacob peeking into it, and Dick Stacy tagged down low. Renegades, the boys are back in town, taking this map 16-11. We're heading through to cash. We're heading through to another map. This best of 3 is going the distance. Who will pick this up? Join us after the break to find out.